everybody, this is the Ghanaian Farmer TV. My name is Enyona Manya. When you see me town, call me Ghana's finest farmer. This week on the Ghanaian Farmer, we bring you the excerpts of the Horticultural Expo 2025 official launch. And this is going to be happening in some few months, and it's going to be a 3-day event. But the official launch happened today at GEPA Impact Hub. We had a lot of dignitaries passing through. We had the FAGE president, Mr. Davis Kobo. We also had the vice president in the person of Dr. Kamasa. We had representative from GIRSAL. We had the chief executive officer of GEPA and many others. Dignitaries passed through, and they also shared a bit of what the collaboration and the future of horticulture is looking like. Let's take a look at some of the presentation, and I'll be right back to wrap it up.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
I hope you are all well.
Yes.
My name is Kojo Agotobuating. I work with FAGE, and I'll be moderating for the morning. On behalf of GEPA, FAGE, Exim Bank, all the partners, Fidelity Bank, GIRSAL, I'd like to welcome all of you to this important launch. This is the media launch for the Ghana Horti Expo. As some of you are aware, we started the Ghana Horti Expo last year. So this is the second edition of the Ghana Horti Expo, and we are here to launch it and begin official communication on the Ghana Horti Expo for the year and start the activities that will lead up to the big day. In fact, it's 3 days, so 11th, 12th, and 13th of June 2025 at the Accra International Conference Center. So you are all welcome once again. I'd like to commit today to God for Him to direct the affairs of today's event, so that in the end we give praises and honor to Him. Amen. We shall begin with a welcome address by the FAGE president, but before he does that, I'd like to do some acknowledgements before we have the welcome address. And so in no particular order, I'm going to introduce the president of FAGE, then I go around the house to introduce the other dignitaries here. But in fact, I think I should start the introductions from our host nation. Yes, you cannot go to the host nation and introduce the away team. So I'll start by introducing our hosts, the CEO of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Mr. Francis Kojo Kwating Arthur, ESQ. Please, a round of applause for him. And he is here with his deputies, and so let me also acknowledge the deputies. Let's put our hands together for our honorable deputies. Thank you very much. Now that I've introduced the hosts, I'll introduce the people closest to power. And so I'd like to introduce a rep from the 24-hour Economy Secretariat. He's the head of Finance, Markets, and Partnerships. If you've been following the conversation, this new government, one of the key things the government wants to do is to reset our economy for it to run 24 hours. I have started running 24 hours. So in the morning, I do radio. Then in the afternoon, I'll go and do agric infrastructure. In the evening, I do FAGE. And in the night, I do farming. And so we have Dr. Ishmael Dodu, Head of Finance, Markets, and Partnerships at the 24-hour Secretariat. And so now, please permit me to do the other introductions in no particular order. And so I'd like to introduce the president of FAGE, Mr. Davis Kobo. Please put your hands together for him. Also a former national best farmer. We also have from the GIZ, one of our main partners, an institution that has consistently contributed to the growth of Ghana, from the German people. In fact, we just returned from Germany. We went for Fruit Logistica in Berlin. We have the cluster coordinator of GIZ Network for Inclusive Economic Development, NEID, Mr. Wilhelm Hugo. Please put your hands together for him. We also have the the commission manager of the Sustainable Employment through Agribusiness Program, Agribiz of GIZ, Sarah Roffler. And sitting right next to Sarah is the Vice President of FAGE and President of VPEG, Dr. Felix Kamasa. We also have the CEO of FAGE, Mr. Karim. Maybe if you leave me, I'll come around and introduce everybody. Oh, we also have the Coconut Association President, Mr. Kweku Boateng. Yes, and our friends from the media as well. We have Enyona Manya from the Ghanaian Farmer. We have other media people. I'll acknowledge as we go along. So thank you all very much for coming this morning for this launch. So at this point, we'll take the welcome address from the president of FAGE, Mr. Davis Kobo. Please help me welcome Mr. Davis Kobo.
Thank you very much, Kenneth. The CEO of Ghana Export Promotion Authority, the rep for the advisor on the 24-hour economy, reps from Ghana GIZ. I see Agri Chamber reps here, GIRSAL, ADB, distinguished ladies, the media. Good morning and welcome to the official media launch of the 2025 Ghana Horticultural Expo. It is my distinct honor to address you today as we unveil our plans for what promises to be a transformative event for Ghana's horticultural sector. Our vision and theme. The theme for this year's Expo, Innovate, Transform, Sustain, driving growth in Ghana's horticulture sector, encapsulates our vision for the future of Ghanaian horticulture. This carefully selected theme reflects our recognition that sustainable growth in our sector depends on our ability to innovate continuously, transform our approaches, and build lasting systems that will thrive for generations to come. Innovation drives our competitiveness. Transformation ensures we adapt to challenging global dynamics. Sustainability guarantees that our growth endures. Together, these principles form the foundation of our strategy to position Ghana as a leading horticulture hub in Africa. Export growth targets. The Ghana Export Promotion Authority and the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters has set ambitious but achievable targets for our non-traditional exports. Working with key partners, including many who are represented here today, we aim to increase Ghana non-traditional exports revenues to over $5 billion within the next 2 years. The horticulture sector is central to this goal. Our fresh and processed fruits, roots and tubers, vegetables, and cut flowers represent some of Ghana's most promising export commodities. Their production engages thousands of farmers, create jobs across the value chain, and generates significant foreign exchange. Navigating global challenges. We gather at a time when global trade faces unprecedented challenges. The recent tariff announcement by the United States signal a shift towards more protectionistic policies in traditional export markets. While we continue to engage constructively with our international partners, these developments underscore the urgency of diversifying our market focus. Rather than viewing these challenges as insurmountable of obstacles, we see them as opportunities to redirect our energies towards markets where Ghanaian products have competitive advantages. Chief among these is the Africa continental market. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area represents the single greatest opportunity for expanding Ghana's horticulture exports. Within a market of 1.3 billion people and a combined GDP of 3.4 trillion, Africa offers boundless opportunities for Ghanaian producers. However, we must move beyond celebratory rhetoric to practical implementation. Faith calls for accelerated progress on eliminating non-tariff barriers, harmonizing standards, and simplifying custom procedures. We need investment in logistics infrastructure and payment systems that facilitates intra-African trade. Most importantly, we need to build awareness among our exporters about the specific opportunities available under AFTA. The Ghana Horticulture Expo 2025 will serve as a platform to rally the sub-region and indeed all Africa around meaningful trade engagements. We envision an expo that doesn't just showcase Ghanaian products, but serves as marketplace connecting African producers and buyers. Our confidence in setting the ambitious goals stem from recent sources. At this year's Fruit Logistics in Berlin, Ghana and Fitch, GEPA and Fitch led Ghanaian business to secure orders worth over $200 million. This achievement demonstrates the growing global recognition of Ghana's horticultural products and the effectiveness of our collective marketing efforts. The 2024 Ghana Horticulture Expo aims to build on these monuments, creating even more business opportunities for our exhibitors and participants. Aligned with government priorities, we acknowledge and commend the new government's focus on agricultural transformation. The initiatives under the Feed Ghana program align perfectly with our objectives for the horticulture sector. However, we emphasize the need for practical execution of these programs to ensure they create tangible value within our economy. FACE stands ready to partner with government agencies in implementing these initiatives, bringing our practical industry experiences to bear on policy implementation, leveraging on the 24-hour economy. The proposed 24-hour economy policy offers particular promise for our horticulture sector. Round-the-clock operations in processing facilities, cold chain logistics, and export handling can significantly reduce post-harvest losses, improve product quality, and enhance our export competitiveness. We look forward to working with the relevant agencies to develop specific interventions that will enable the horticulture sector to benefit from this policy direction. And I'm happy Dr. Diodu is here. Events of this magnitude succeed only through collaboration. I wish to express our profound gratitude to the partners who have supported the Horticulture Expo since its inception last year. GIRSAL, Fidelity Bank, GIZ, USAID, and our media partners and our member associations. Your belief in our vision has been instrumental in establishing this expo as a flagship event for Ghana's agricultural sector. Today, we are delighted to welcome Ghana Exim Bank on board as a new sponsor. Your commitment to export development makes you a natural partner for this initiative. We also extend an invitation to other institutions to join us in promoting Ghana's horticultural industry. The opportunities for impactful collaboration are limitless. To our exhibitors and visitors, to potential exhibitors and vendors considering participation, I offer this assurance. Ghana Horticulture Expo 2025 will be a wonderful platform to advance your business objectives. Whether you seek new markets, strategic partnerships, or investment opportunities, our comprehensive program is designed to meet your needs. FAID is committed to doing everything possible to ensure your success. Our dedicated team is working tirelessly to attract quality visitors, facilitate productive business connections, and create an environment conducive to meaningful engagements. Allow me at this stage to express special appreciation to Ghana Export Promotion Authority for the unwavering partnership with FAITH. Your continuous financial, technical, and policy support has been instrumental in driving growth in our export sector, and I think we should applaud them. The provision of this venue for today's launch is just one example of your ongoing commitment to our cause. The successful implementation of initiatives like the National Export Development Strategy and Impact Hub has created an enabling environment for growth, export growth. We value this partnership and look forward to its continued strengthening. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ghana Horticultural Expo represents more than just an event. It is a declaration of our collective ambition for Ghana's horticulture sector. It embodies our belief that with the right innovations, transformative approaches, and sustainable practices, we can achieve remarkable growth. As we count down to June 11 to 13, 2025, I invite all stakeholders to join us in making the Expo a resounding success. Together, we can showcase Ghana's horticulture excellence to the world and create lasting value for our economy. Thank you for your attention, and may God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for that speech, giving us the numbers, giving us the hope. We really thank you. Before we go on, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the team from Fidelity Bank. We have Mr. Ni Ayi from Fidelity Bank also here, one of the key partners of the Expo and FAITH. Thank you. Please, a round of applause for Fidelity Bank. I'll be acknowledging the other partners as we go along. Now, what we are going to do before we get the other speeches and remarks is to show you what the Expo is about and what to expect from June 11 to 13. And so I'm going to do that by showing you a brief presentation on the Expo and what to expect. After that, we'll hear remarks from all the partners, and then we wrap up for today. Now, as I said earlier, the Ghana Horticultural Expo was started last year, and it was hosted at the Grand Arena at the Accra International Conference Center. But this year, we're expanding it, so we are taking the full conference center for the 3 days of the Ghana Horticulture Expo. What the Expo seeks to do is to bring the whole industry together for thought leadership events, conferences, seminars, workshops, trade exhibitions, and networking events. And it's happening from the 11th to 13th of June at the Accra International Conference Center. Now, we all know about Fruit Logistica, and it's one of the biggest events, if not the biggest event, when it comes to agri globally. What FAITH, GEPA, and partners are trying to do is to situate the Ghana Horticulture Expo as a Fruit Logistica of Ghana and the Fruit Logistica of Africa. So this year we'll be having a lot of exhibitors from other African countries who will be coming for the Ghana Horti Expo. It's all in line with encouraging intra-Africa trade as well, and FAITH wants to lead that. So these are some of the numbers that we are looking at. We are looking at over 5,000 attendees coming, over 400 exhibitors, and locally we are looking at about over $25 million in deals. If I'm to use Fruit Logistica as an example, this year when we went for Fruit Logistica, over $167 million in deals were made for Ghanaian exporters, from pineapple to mango to cassava to yam to almost all the commodities. We had people coming to the Ghana stand to set up businesses and to place orders for all these. And we are looking at a minimum $25 million in deals for the markets at the Ghana Horticulture Expo come June this year. Now, these are some of the things that you should expect over the 3 days. We are going to have a lot of conversations. For example, on day one, we are going to launch the Ghana Horticulture Expo, and the keynote presentation will be the global horticultural industry, the trends and the opportunity for growth. And so we have a researcher who is doing that work to present that to us. In the face of the tariffs as well, this will be a very good conversation to be had. And then we'll then have a panel discussion on leveraging horticulture for a 24-hour economy. So, Dr. Dodu, your 24-hour economy is firmly situated in the conversation. We shall also have conversations on emerging technologies and a whole lot of other things on day one. So that gives you a general overview of day one. We'll look at emerging technologies, we'll look at sustainable practices in horticulture, and we'll have the main plenary events, and then we'll have the breakout sessions. We have 2 halls for the breakout sessions. And so far, we've also had inquiries from various industry associations from outside who want to have their own intimate sessions where they come and meet Ghanaian businesses. So you'll see businesses from Germany, you see businesses from Israel, you see businesses from Italy and other countries that also hold one-on-one sessions with businesses within Ghana and across Africa. Then day 2, we'll be looking at some of the issues to do with water and energy solutions for the horticulture space. And then we'll have a full conversation on global market trends in horticultural products. We'll talk about quality standards, traceability, certification. If you saw to your right when you were entering here, realize that GEPA has set up the one-stop shop where FDA, PPRSD, Ghana Standards Authority, they are all there. It's all part of the packaging. If you are to export, you need to meet all these standards. So it's also one of the key conversations that we are going to have on day 2. And then day 3, we will talk about climate change. We'll talk about planting material, inputs, plant breeding, and seed production, everything to do with getting the inputs. This morning, the director of agribusiness at the presidency said that our target this year for maize is 7 million tons. To do 7 million tons, we need to add an extra 1 million acres under production. Where do we get the seeds? And are we continuously going to import seeds, or we should develop our own seed varieties and expand? All those are conversations that the market needs to have. And it's a multi-million-dollar industry. So those conversations will be had at the Ghana Horticultural Expo. And so we'll bring all the researchers to have that conversation. Now, you are wondering what is in it for vendors. As we said, we are looking at enabling over $25 million worth of business for vendors. And if you're a vendor and you need a stand, our stand sizes are 3 meters by 3 meters, large enough for you to set up properly and engage your people. For Phage members, it's only 2,000 Ghana cedis for all the 3 days. For non-Phage members, it's only 3,000 Ghana cedis for all the 3 days. And for international exhibitors, it's only $300 for the 3 days. You are wondering why it's just $300. We want to encourage the world to come to Ghana, and we don't want to put any barriers in anybody's way. That's why it's just $300. If you look at a lot of the expos around the world, they charge a lot of money. In fact, we spend a lot of money when we go for Mark Fruit and Fruit Logistica and all that, but we don't want anything to be a barrier. So we want people to come. Just that we don't want it to be free. Pay a token and come for the Horticulture Expo. Now, this is the venue where we are going to have the Horticulture Expo. This is the Accra International Conference Center. So we are taking the whole space. This is the conference center. We are taking this whole space. Last year was just here, but this year we are taking this whole space. So mechanization people can set up. Those who are going to cook fresh foods, display fresh products will have the right space. And because it's in June, this whole space is covered. So we will not have problems with rains or any challenges with that. So this is the venue for the Ghana Horti Expo 2025, which is going to be held at the Accra International Conference Center. We'll be working with all media houses, but we know that media houses also have commitment to specific events when it comes to these things. So our key media partner that has committed a lot of airtime and resources to this is a multimedia group. They are using their platforms to push the Horti Expo, but it doesn't mean that other media houses here, we are not going to work with you. We know that some media houses in June, they have specific events that may not give them the opportunity to give us as much airtime as possible. So we'll be working with all of you. We'll be coming to you, but the main media partner will be the Multimedia Group Limited, which will be using their platforms in Accra, in Kumasi, and around the country to promote the Ghana Horticulture Expo. There are a few commodities that Phage and GEPA and partners are promoting this year. I want to run through them coconut is one of the key commodities that Fitch is promoting, and it's a traditional crop. People love Ghanaian coconuts, so we are trying to expand the coconut production. In fact, over the past 2-3 years, if my own memory serves me right, based on what I've heard in the media, GEPA has distributed over 500,000 coconut seedlings to the market. When it comes over 1 million, yes. So, I'm even understating. When it comes to pineapples and all those things, millions of seedlings and planting materials have been given out, because we know we can create a multi-million-dollar industry from this. If you look at coconut, for example, Nigerians are coming here to buy a lot of our coconuts for oil. Now, Ghanaian demand is also there for coconut oil and the coconut water, and even other products from coconut. I know companies making all sorts of upholstery materials from coconut. So it's a big industry that we are focusing on. We also have our mango industry, which is also one of the key industries that we are focusing on. And I remember at Fruit Logistica, all the people who came to us said Ghanaian mangoes are very sweet. Ghanaian mangoes are very sweet. And it is an industry that we can also pay more attention to and grow. So it's one of the key commodities that we are highlighting. Now, the other commodity we are highlighting are chilies. So they are chilies. I've not acknowledged GIRSAL yet. GIRSAL are here. I'm going to acknowledge them properly. But GIRSAL, for example, is leading a project on chilies with some financing partners, where if you have land, they can set up net houses for you and enable you to grow chilies. And it's a big industry for us, so we are paying attention to it. Aside the global market, we still love our pepper soup and our shito, don't we? So it's one of the commodities that we are paying attention to. And then we have our sweet potatoes, we have our pineapples, and then we have our yams and other commodities that we are paying attention to. One other commodity which is growing very fast, that Ghana has a competitive advantage of in globally, is fonio. And Fitch GEPA partners are really working hard to place Ghana as the fonio hub for the world. So it's also a key commodity that we are promoting. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, these are the commodities or the products that we are prioritizing, including the thousands of products that we have amongst our 22 partner or member associations. And like I said, at Fruit Logistica, we're able to get about $167 million worth of orders for the Ghanaian market. We are going to work harder to get even more, so that we hit the $5 billion target that we have. We've also set up a website for the Ghana Horticultural Expo. So every information you need is there. It's GhanaHortiExpo.com. When you go there, you see all the daily activities, the various sessions. We've posted them there on the website. So basically, this is how the Ghana Horticultural Expo is going to be. You can visit the GEPA website for more information, the Fitch website for more information, and GhanaHortiExpo.com as well for more information. In fact, the Fitch website, GIZ helped us build it. So please, let's give them a round of applause for supporting that. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the general overview of the Ghana Horticultural Expo. So at this point, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of GIRSAL here, and then move on to the rest of the acknowledgement, which we shall take questions and answers later. So at this point, I'd like to, on the program, the CEO of GEPA is supposed to speak, but this morning he has been given extra responsibilities. The Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Innovation was supposed to be here, but she's been invited to the big house for an urgent meeting. So the CEO of GEPA is doubling as the CEO here and the rep of the minister. So we are going to push his speech to the last, so that he gives the keynote to cover us for the rest of the day. So I think it's just fair now to invite Fidelity Bank to give us some remarks. And after Fidelity Bank, we'll take remarks from GIRSAL, and then we'll take remarks from GIZ, and then remarks from the 24-hour Economy Secretariat, and then we take the keynote speech from CEO Mr. Francis Kojo Kwarteng at our ESQ. So please help me invite Ni Ayi from Fidelity Bank to give us the remarks from Fidelity Bank, and then we make progress. Ni.
Good morning to you all. I bring you greetings from Fidelity Bank. Let me stand on existing protocols to acknowledge all the key partners here. and all the key stakeholders. Last year, we embarked on a journey to create a dedicated platform that will showcase Ghana's rich horticultural potential, connect exporters to international markets, and drive foreign exchange inflows. Through the collective efforts of FAGE, GEPA, USAID, GTI, Fidelity Bank, and other partners, the maiden edition of the fair was a resounding success. It provided a dynamic space for knowledge sharing, business networking, and tangible trade outcomes. Many of the exhibitors gained new markets, forged strategic partnership, and expanded their operations. As a bank, we take immense pride in our role as a key financial partner to Ghana export sector through our strategic partnership with FAGE under the Export Club initiative. We have been deliberate in providing financial solutions that drive sustainable growth and competitiveness. Our active participation in trade fairs, both local and international, has not only strengthened our relationship with key stakeholders, but also resulted in supporting agribusiness financing and increased foreign exchange inflows to our dear country. While we celebrate our achievements, we must also recognize that the global horticultural landscape is rapidly evolving. As we launch this second edition, we are focusing on a critical new dimension: scaling Ghana's horticultural industry and global competitiveness, especially with what Trump is doing at the moment. We need to ensure that our horticultural sector is very competitive. This means adopting innovative farming techniques, ensuring compliance with international standards, leveraging technology to enhance productivity, and improving value addition in our supply chain. In this regard, Fidelity Bank will continue to deepen its commitment by exploring new financing models that cater to the unique needs of the Ghana horticultural exporters. We will also continue to strengthen our capacity building initiatives in collaboration with FAGE and GEPA to equip exporters with the knowledge and resources necessary to meet international demands. We in Fidelity are committed to this next chapter, and we do encourage all stakeholders, government agencies, private sector players, development partners, and financial institutions to continue working together to unlock the full potential of Ghana horticultural sector. This fair is more than an event. It's a catalyst for transformative change, economic empowerment, and global positioning. In that regard, I reaffirm Fidelity's unwavering support for this initiative and our commitment to driving the growth of Ghana export industry. Let's seize the opportunities that this fair presents and work collectively towards a more prosperous and globally competitive horticultural sector in Ghana. I thank you all and look forward to a successful fair. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nee. At this point, we'll hear from GIZ before we go to GIRSAL. And GIZ has also been a key partner for Ghana's development and a key partner for FAGE. And I'd like to invite the NIED Cluster Coordinator, Wilhelm Hugo, to give us the remarks from GIZ. A round of applause for him, please.
Thank you, everybody, for coming here today. I'm very happy and very honored to stand here with you together and to talk about the promotion of the Horticultural Expo 2025. Honorable FEDG President Davis Corbu, Dear partners here standing, dear CEO Francis Kojo, of course also for the 24 hours economy, Dr. Ismail Dudu, thank you very much for being all here. You already mentioned the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, our dear partner Motai. And permit me to stand on existing protocols. Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to be here and honored to address today the media launch here in 2025. The edition of the Horticulture Expo in 2025 will be a second one, so we are already a little bit experienced, and I'm very happy that we have this very important horticulture established now in the second year already, so that we can continue to it. Because the agribusiness, the agriculture is very important for Ghana, for the Ghana-German cooperation. You might know that this year in 2025 we have the 50-year celebration of Ghana-German cooperation. In October we'll have Ghana-German government negotiations again, and I'm very pleased that also this visit to the Fruit Logistica in Germany, in Nuremberg, was already mentioned, and we saw this impressive number of 167 million euro or dollars. Let's talk in euro for the future then perhaps when we talk in Germany. This is very impressive. According to the Food Business Africa 2025, Ghana's horticulture sector has shown impressive growth. So we see that $48 million or euro, very close to it, go in vegetable exports. Bananas remain the most imported horticulture product, with over 59,000 metric tons shipped to the EU in 2022. And you already mentioned the big amount, more than 70 tons of fruits, 20,000 tons of vegetables. Pineapples was mentioned, chilies was mentioned, mango. And I learned now that fonio is here, the hub Ghana related to it. And these numbers show and highlight the sector's potential, but also the need for continued investment and coordination. And that's why we are also standing here as German Development Corporation, GIZ, implementing on behalf of BMZ, the German Ministry of Cooperation. And this is a strong partnership that we have also, of course, with the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters, of FARC, for over a decade now. And we firmly believe in the potential of horticulture to transform the rural economies. GIZ, through the agribusiness program, and I'm very happy that my dear colleague Sarah Rüffler is today with me here. We are also standing ready for question and more comments after this event today. You already mentioned that this year's expo was officially launched by FARC in Germany, where the Agribis program supported the participation in the Fruit Logistica. And I want to come back to the idea of Ghana-German cooperation, especially for the private sector, because it's important for both our new governments. You know very good about your own new government in Germany. We have now a new chancellor too, and we have a new government. They will be sworn in next week. And this idea of cooperation in the private sector, of this export promotion, this is crucial. And this will be something that in 2025 and in the next years we will see much more important. And that's why we look very much forward also to the 2025 edition of the Horticultural Expo under the theme, and we have it here, innovative innovate, transform, sustain, driving growth in Ghana's horticulture sector. Very much looking forward to see you all then in June again, 11th to 13th June, to celebrate together. Coming to the 24 hours policy, I was very honored to participate during the speech of Honorable President in the Parliament on the State of the Nation. And at the end of the session, we were singing a very famous song about the 24 hours economy. And this is something where I would say GIZ and German Development Corporation, we share the same vision. We share the same vision for a vibrant, modern, and globally competitive horticulture sector in Ghana. That's why we are supporting, and that's why we want to stand next to you to go further in this, deepen this approach further. We will continue with GIZ Ghana to focus on these issues in Ghana with existing and upcoming programs. We look forward to work with you, FARC, DeFARC, and all you, dear actors, vibrant actors gathered here, as we strive to achieve a world worth living in, especially in our two countries of Germany and Ghana, and for the private sector cooperation we are going forward. We wish you a successful launch of the program and the very best in organizing this event in June 2025. Thank you very much. Medasi Ha.
Thank you very much. Yansuya Dasipa. Thank you. Another round of applause for him, please. At this point, we are going to hear from GIRSAL, and we have a rep here who is representing the CEO, Mr. Kwesidia. We have Mr. Mark Nyama Antonio here. Please help me welcome Mark.
Thank you very much. For correction, my name is Mark Nyama Antonio. So like you said, I'm standing in for my CEO, and I'll make this quick. I only have 5 minutes to do this. GIRSAL, it's a full name, and the name stands for Ghana Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing Systems for Agricultural Lending. And it was established in 2020 with its mandate to perform 2 specific tasks under 2 pillars. One is to de-risk agriculture, which include credit risk guarantee scheme, technical and advisory services, which is geared towards beefing up capacity of financial institutions and also improving their appetite to lend to the agricultural sector, and then the agricultural value chain development. We also have a second pillar which has to do with incentives, which include policy and advocacy and information resources for financial institutions. The pillars are targeted at doubling the current agricultural lending by financial institutions within the next 10 years, and also reducing non-performing loans within the agricultural sector and reducing interest rates margins on agricultural loans. GIRSAL over the years has partnered various institutions to execute its mandate. This include the government and institutions within the government sector, include the Ministry of Finance, Bank of Ghana, and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. We also have development partners such as African Development Bank, Alliance for Green Revolution in Africa, Accra, and then the Embassy of the Kingdom of Netherlands. For our technical and operational partners, we have Development Bank Ghana, National Banking College, Rabobank, Apex Bank, just to mention a few. GIRSAL Credit Guarantee Scheme is geared towards providing credit risk guarantees to PFIs for agribusiness. And this scheme also covers up to 70% of the default risk of agricultural loan principal. It also supports loan application assessment, loan restructuring, and monitoring. Benefits of the scheme over the years are enormous, but for want of time, I'll just mention a few. It provides an incentive to participating financial institutions to lend more to the agricultural businesses. It also mitigates risks associated with agricultural lending. It also improves the structure of loan facilities and improves the lending terms and conditions. The overarching goals of the CRG, which is the Credit Risk Guarantee Initiative, first of all, to curtail imports and expedite import substitutions efforts. It also to bolster food security and then also create jobs and sustain jobs. GIRSAL has issued CRG cover over a loan of 1.49 billion granted by a financial institution. And this is key achievements over the years. This is spread through various value chains, including the rice value chain, the poultry value chain, the maize and soya value chain, the rubber value chain, vegetables, and others. Others include input suppliers and then aggregators. We have chalked some successes, like I said, and the results and the impacts are well known. So far, we have touched base with 150 agribusinesses that have benefited from the GIRSAL guarantee loans. These agribusinesses are located in 76 districts in 16 regions throughout Ghana. Value chain activities that include input supplies, production, aggregation, processing, exports. It has also created 2,990 direct and indirect jobs. 67,000 farmers across the 16 regions have also been impacted. Over 25 million USD forests generated from the export of the agribusinesses that have been guaranteed with the GIRSAL loans. Results of our technical advisory services include training of staff of about 762 middle level staff, trained in various courses in agricultural lending. 217 females participated. 57 institutions participated in the training programs. 181 senior bank executives also participated. I think the MC also mentioned about the chili project. Yes, GIRSAL has been involved in the chili project. As of the close of 2024, GIRSAL has completed the commercial trial production of chili peppers and has demonstrated notable progress across multiple trial sites, specifically at Dowenya, Ziope, and Waji. A total of 2.4 hectares has been cultivated with chili peppers, resulting in a cumulative harvest of 15.9 metric tons. GIRSAL is now rolling out these initiatives to agribusinesses through financial institutions to fund the project. GIRSAL will be at the forefront of providing technical support. As part of our policy and advocacy programs, GIRSAL has developed Agribusiness Forum to serve as a principal national body representing agribusinesses in Ghana. It aims to provide a unified platform for advocacy, policy influence, and collaboration to address key challenges in the agricultural sector. By tackling fragmentation and lack of collaboration within the industry, the forum will help drive sustainable agricultural growth and enhance funding access for agribusinesses. So far, 34 members have been onboarded onto the forum so far. Consists of 4 financial institutions, 23 agribusinesses, and 7 agribusiness groups. Processes are underway to establish the secretariat of the forum, which will be responsible for coordinating the activities of the forum. The soft launch of the forum is planned for the end of this second quarter to enable effective operations. Looking forward, GIRSAL will continue to work on its mandate in the area of credit guarantee scheme and technical assistance support to financial institutions and agribusinesses. We are willing and our doors are widely open to collaborate with FAGE and other stakeholders to provide innovative funding and technical support to the horticultural industry. We wish FAGE a successful launch. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nee. Thank you. GIRSAL has been doing a lot of work, and I think they deserve another round of applause. We're coming to the end of today. We have a speech from the 24-hour Economy Secretariat, and then you have the keynote by the GEPA CEO. Then we'll take your questions and answers and wrap up. So please help me invite the head of Finance, Markets and Partnerships at the 24-hour Economy Secretariat, Dr. Ishmael Dodu.
The CEO and a representative of the Minister of Trade and Innovation, of Mr. Kelly Arthur, who is also my dearest brother, GIZ representatives of the media, our host and the president of FAGE and his members. I stand on the protocols that have been established, and I just want to say good afternoon to all of you and to send you special greetings from Honorable Guzitano, who I'm representing at this time. I'm going to talk to you a bit about the 25 economy, the vision as we have espoused, what we should be expecting, and then I will also link it with the reason that we have gathered here, and to talk about the potential of horticulture. My jollof story always provide the essence of what I believe is the 25 economy, because most of us like jollof. Although I'm a gunman who likes my kenken and fish, I've become a disciple of jollof as well. So, so when you take a plate of jollof, we import largely the rice that we eat, about $500 million bill. We import the tomatoes, about $400 million bill, or let's say 350. We import the poultry, about 450 million bill. Onions is probably 20 million bill. And the pepper is standing around $10.5 million. So the fundamentals of your jollof creation is not right, which means that the CD, as you eat the jollof, will always expose you. This is the essence of why 25 economy is important. Throughout the discussion of the 25 economy, many of us recall the night economy, where we have a bastion of markets at Katamanton, Kejicha, and some of our principal markets, GIRSAL. And many of you also recall the shifts in production, where we talk about 133. So one job, 3 people in the morning, and so we're running Togna shift. These are not in themselves not true. These are not in themselves untrue. But really, the 25 economy, if it is running effectively and efficiently, the natural outcome of it is that we have increasing outputs, increasing in productivity, generating surplus. Then you have a bastion of market all over the place, and people will be creating jobs. And so the shift will come, and definitely the night market will be. That is if the 25 economy is running at his output, at his optimum. So what then is the 25 economy? The 25 economy actually provides a robust framework for addressing what today is the structural deformity of our economy. Our economy is structurally deformed in the sense that nearly 80% of everything that you depend on in terms of food, in terms of clothing, in terms of what we all depend on, goods and services, things that we sit on, chairs, everything. And when we look at our own dependence, 80% of that is important. And you are running an economy today where only 20% of the economy are controlled by Ghanaians in terms of what Ghanaians actually produce. 80% is not in your hands. So a GDP of over $77 billion per year, 80% is controlled by outside entities other than Ghanaians. This is not tenable. So the way we have envisaged 24-hour economy is to reverse that trend, to ensure that we will not only produce the goods and services and the products that we depend on, to minimize the import and lower our dependence on it, but we would generate surpluses to feed our industry, and then create export products to be able to tap into the 425 million population of West Africa, which generates nearly 800 billion to $1 trillion market economy. So the 24-hour economy is about not just feeding Ghana, but growing Ghana, eating Ghana, and ensuring that within the next 3 to 4 years, if we walk to ShopRite and Malcolm, you have a flood of made in Ghana goods that are produced here. So how do we do that? We have to look at the growth poles of our economy. Our economy today, we export only raw materials, and the raw materials are our principal cash crops. We look at principal crops. So we have the cocoa, the gold, and oil and gas. But remember, these are just, we export them at the raw material base. And then in turn, we import. Even manufacturing, they have to import raw materials in order to manufacture the products.
And therefore, it is extremely important for us to look at a number of ways that we can reverse this trend. There are three key pillars that we have envisaged to do. Number one, production transformation. How do we inject innovation, technology, resources, ideas into transforming the way we produce? And what are we going to produce in order to deal with the structural deformity of our economy? So we look at strategic agricultural value chain, of which horticulture forms significant part. Now, what are the strategic agricultural value chains and why would you choose them? We selected a number of commodities. Now, the reason we select those commodities are one, these commodities will lend themselves to the development of what we call the derivative products, derivative industry. Number two, they minimize our import bill. Number three, they help us to achieve food sufficiency, food security, and to be able to position towards food sovereignty. And number four, these are commodities that if we produce them, they reduce our inflationary bill. What are some of the examples? Let's look at some of the cereals, the rice, the millet, and so on. We look at the tubers, we look at, for example, cassava and yam. Let's take cassava to give you an idea of what we meant by derivative products and strategic value chain. Out of cassava, you have your fufu, you can have your gari, but strategically, you produce an important product, ethanol, that feeds our pharmaceutical sector. Dextrose and foxtrose that also deal with some of the diabetic situation in our medical sector. So by looking at this end-to-end value chain, we are able to create knock-on effect. Vegetables, these are very strategic for us as well. And then the horticultural products, the fruits, the mangoes, and so on that we are dealing with. I'll come back to talk about how we're going to work with partner the phage in order to arrive at some of the ways. So strategic agricultural value chain in the production transformation. The second, we are looking at how to deal with our garments, the textile industry. 80% of everything that is sold in the market today is coming from China. Only 20% at the optimum is produced from here. And that is about $1.2 billion a year of market. And we are giving that away. Then the question is also, in transforming our production, how do we ensure that we have technology to help our industrialization? And how do we ensure that we manufacture some of those or develop some of those technology, even patent of the technologies? We have our engineering institutions that produce engineers every year. Can we manufacture some of the implements that are transforming our agricultural sector? The harrows, the threshers, and the kiln dryers, and so on. We produce steel here, we produce aluminum here. We have the talents that go to University of Science and Technology and other universities. So fabrication and manufacturing industrial machines, at the minimum, even assembling those industrial machines is one other investment in terms of strategically dealing with our production. Then we look at the whole sector around cultural tourism and so on. But one of the things that is extremely important, that is really very critical to production transformation, is the human skills. We are in digital technology era. We have to invest in digital intelligence because most of our production can be transformed digitally. We have AI instruments that can be used. So how do we invest in our human capital to be able to acquire the skills, to manage our technology, to do modern fabrication, modern manufacturing or production? At the same time, having the right attitude, critical thinking, being able to organize, strategically planning, having the competencies that are needed, such that any foreign direct investor that comes to this country will not ignore the Ghanaian market because we have what it takes to unleash a very robust and powerful industry. So that is our production transformation. Then we looked at the supply chain and market efficiency. You don't produce
If you, for example, you want to add value to any horticultural product, you don't produce the mango in Brong-Ahafo region and transport it and come and process it in Accra. By the way, I was very surprised to see that a recent statistics that came from the Statistical Bureau, Ghana Statistics, indicated that 44% of our workforce are concentrated on only 3 regions. 44% of our workforce, only 3 regions. Greater Accra, Eastern and Ashanti region. So other regions, what is happening there? You can't talk about a transformation of the economy when you don't take advantage of the unique position of each region and what they have to offer in terms of market, in terms of production, in terms of export, and in terms of jobs. So really, supply chain and market efficiency is extremely important for us. And that means that we have to provide the technology, provide the infrastructure that are needed. In the production of your horticultural products, we want to be able to provide you with the warehouse, the cold chains. We want to be able to help you with the feeder roads. We want to be able to help you with irrigation, help you with all the infrastructure bases that you're looking for. And then we look at the other component that I have already talked about with our human strategy. But, in terms of the strategic partnership that we are looking to have with FAGE and most of our partners here, GIZ, we have quite a number of you that are representing here, and particularly most strategic partnership with Ghana Export Protection Agency, is that we have to think about how we unleash this powerful vision, which I believe is not a political parlance, but actually a citizen's vision, is to do a number of things. Number one, mobilizing all of us. Wear Ghana goods. Eat Ghana food. Be proud of what we produce. Eat the mangoes. What is really, really important, and as we talk to industry, I discovered is that for some reason, and it is not by coincidence, God has specially blessed this country in terms of its peculiar geopositioning within the earth, equidistant to the north, to the east, and to be able to do export. And it's not a coincidence that we have Greenwich Mean Time GMT passing through as the meridian. But what is so important, and our brother the MC mentioned it, is that in Germany, when they eat our mangoes, they say that it tastes so sweet and it's so peculiar in taste than any other product. It turns out that every product, and please hear me out, every product that is produced through our natural system in Ghana is of premium quality. To the extent that our gold is premium quality and our oil and gas is of premium quality. Our pepper is of premium quality. The fonio, which actually is used for diabetics, they always want to have a Ghanaian base to mix it. When you want to buy chocolate today, wherever they import the seeds or the raw material from, they need to have at least 20-30% Ghanaian base. So, what are we doing with the uniqueness of the product that we have? Can we have a unique product, unique horticultural product, branded in the Ghanaian name that really is targeting a unique market? So one of the things we want to do through the 24-hour economy is really to have this strategic partnership to develop some of these unique products. Number two, we want to be able to unlock the finance that most small, medium enterprises are looking. The 24-hour economy is about partnership with the private sector in complement to what government is doing in terms of public policy and ensuring that the private sector will be at the driver's seat of this economy. To the extent that they will own this economy, will have the wealth created for individuals and the wealth created collectively for the country. It is no longer tenable that we have a country in which only 20% of our economy or our GDP is controlled by Ghanaian-based industries. Not tenable. So we're going to partner with you to unlock the finance that you need. The finance
So we're creating what we call the on-lending SME facility in conjunction with our partners, multi development institutions, development finance institutions, the World Bank, and all the others. We're working with them to pool these funds. And it's going to do one thing, to make sure that it gives the patient capital that you need, with enough moratorium for you to build equity. And it's going to be at a concessional base, so you're not going to get it at market price. More than 1/3 of what market offers. And we're going to work in partnership with the banks and lend through them. And we're going to de-risk it by ensuring that you do one of the most important things that FAGE have done, putting you into associations and cooperatives and making sure that you have then the technical capacity that you need in order to be able to do. So this is an offer to our members of FAGE. We will help you with the patient capital, but we want to make sure that you become an active member of FAGE. Pay your dues, get involved in what FAGE does, and then we will provide you, in addition, a technical assistance grant that will help you to obtain the R&D support that you need, the research and development support that you need in order to grow the breeds that you're looking for. That will also deal with the issue of seeds, creating a seed bank. And when you are in poultry, you also have some of those extension services, but really with horticulture, dealing with the seed issue, dealing with extension services, dealing with the issue of irrigation, dealing with the issue of feeder roads and infrastructure, and helping you to succeed. The idea is that you have no option but to succeed within this realm. And the third that we will do is to work with you to continuously expand the market. To the extent that we're able to offer you the market that you need, both domestically and across to other regions. So this is what the 24-hour economy will do. So it is about ensuring that at the end of the day, we are able to own our economy, produce the food that we would eat, become food sufficient, be able to generate surplus for industry to transform into other derivative products. And through that, be able to accelerate for export, and with the end goal that we'll be able to deal with the job situation. And the really important view is that the job situation is very, very catastrophic at this time. You have people graduating to the workforce and they spend probably 7 years on average to land one first job. Our vision is that when you graduate to the workforce, you have 80% chance of landing your first job within your first year. 80% chance. And if we do that, at the moment, only 30% of what Ghanaian market needs is what we produce. And the 70% is imported or more. We will be able to turn the tide in order to be able to produce the market and fill the domestic market that we need. We must control the 77 billion GDP and expand the GDP to 100 billion and still control 80% of it. So we are working with FAGE, we're working with industry, we are working with traders, Import and Exporters Association, and we are making sure that the import trade routes or trade networks is filled with made in Ghana goods. Now, one of the things that we will put on the table, and before I land, is we have to make sure that our products are also export competitive and import competitive. So how do we do that? We are going to support you to grow with standards, both environmental and social and governance standards, meeting product specification standards as in being ISO consistent, but also ensuring that you are growing, you are producing in ways that minimize the environment, so you can also capitalize on some of the innovative finance that comes from carbon credits and green facilities and climate facilities, and so on and so forth. We're also going to help you to deal with this issue of standardization and product specification, which I've mentioned before. So in the end, We're going to work with the private sector. We're going to work with all of you to make sure that you produce to scale, to meet the local and domestic market, generate export that can be transformed by the industry to be able to export to market. And you produce your goods in ways that it means international competitive export markets. My plea to all of us today is that we should embrace this vision as a national vision. The 24-hour economy is not a local balance, but it is a national vision, a citizen's vision aimed at robustly transforming our economy into one that generates productivity, increase productivity and outputs, and produce made in Ghana goods, and give the control of the economy to the private sector. The one that produce product that we can be proud of and can tap into the West African market, which has over $1 trillion market economy. One that would position Ghana to be effectively represented in the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. And wherever country you go to their shops and you look out for made in Ghana goods. Yes, we can do it. And I believe it is within our ambition to do it. We have what it takes to do it. We have the capacity. We have the human beings. We have the land. We have the resources. We have the energy resources. We have the innovation and the bright ideas. And I truly believe that we can do it. And my desire is that when we come to, by June, we'll begin to see some of the products that already in manufacturing here that we are partnering to upscale so that the world will see that Ghana has indeed reset itself and has arrived. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ishmael Dodo. Another round of applause for him. Thank you so much, Dr. Dodo. So we are going to have the keynote from a man who doubles right now as the CEO of GEPA and the rep of the Minister of Trade, which is our policy ministry. Please, CEO.
Thank you, Kojo, the farmer. Colleagues, CEOs, the presidents of the Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters, executives of horticultural product associations, rep of government agencies, friends from the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good morning or good afternoon. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the Impact Hub of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority for the launch of the second edition of the Horticultural Expo 2025. I must from the onset congratulate FAGE leadership for instituting this important expo to expose Ghana's horticultural sector to the world. Indeed, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority is proud to be associated with the event since it falls perfectly within the National Export Development Strategy and GEPA's mandate as the export promotion agency of government. I recall the success of last year's maiden edition, during which GEPA played an important role. I am happy that we are building on the successes recorded and hence the relevance of the choice of this year's theme, which is Innovate, Transform, Sustain, driving maximum value in Ghana's horticultural sector. To become competitive on the international market, Ghana's horticultural industry needs to innovate and add value to the range of products that we offer to the market. We are proud that our pineapples, mangoes, vegetables, and indeed the full range of produce are premium and are loved by our buyers and consumers in the market. However, that may not be enough to sustain us in the market for the long, since our competitors are also deploying strategies to outcompete us. It is my expectation, therefore, that the entire horticultural industry players will use this year's Expo to rally around the theme and discuss ways in which we can sustain this important sector into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Horticultural Expo comes at a time when Ghana is charting a bold new path under the government's Accelerated Export Development Program, AEDP. The AEDP aims to support Ghanaian businesses in expanding their export activities, accessing new markets, and increasing the competitiveness of the on the global stage. It is therefore critical that the Ghana Export Promotion Authority and the Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters, with all key export sector stakeholders, work together assiduously to implement this vision of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. Distinguished guests, last year's inaugural Expo exceeded our expectations, creating valuable connections between local producers and global markets while showcasing the vast potentials of horticultural potential. Today, we build upon that foundation with renewed purpose and enhanced vision. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority remains steadfastly committed to supporting horticultural producers and exporters across this value chain. Kindly permit me to highlight some of the impactful collaboration we as GEPA have had with FAGE over the past year. 1. Through our market promotion activities, we have taken Ghanaian horticultural products to international platforms, such as the Fruit Logistical Fair in Berlin, Germany, the McFruit Fair in Rimini, Italy, the Fruit Attraction Fair in Spain, and other major horticultural trade fairs in Europe and Asia, connecting our exporters to buyers, distributors, and retail chains. 2. GEPA and FAGE have jointly played advocacy roles, pushing for policy reforms and incentives that will reduce export challenges and enhance competitiveness in the sector. 3. FAGE member associations have also been beneficiaries of GEPA's initiatives in the horticultural sector, including the coconut and pineapple revitalization programs, whereby coconut seedlings and pineapple suckers are being procured and distributed to farmers in the various regions. Indeed, the capacities of exporters continue to be built through the GEPA Export School. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to report that Ghana's participation in the Fruit Logistical Fair in Berlin in February 2025, for example, generated some fantastic figures in export to FAGE. In export to FAGE members, and execution of the orders are ongoing. For instance, yam, as reported by the FAGE members, secured orders in the region of $168 million. Mango, for instance, with the permission of the president of FAGE, let me break down the orders for the mango. Morocco, for instance, ordered $24 million of Ghana mango. We have Poland ordering $14.4 million of Ghana mango, UK $12 million, Gabon $300,000, and Europe $36.6 million. It is my hope that our financial institutions will support with the required funding to enable the companies to successfully fulfill the orders received. As we launch the second edition of this Expo today, I invite all stakeholders to commit themselves to fully participate in the exhibition, workshops, networking opportunities at the event to be held at the Accra International Conference Center from 11th to the 13th of June 2025. Distinguished guests, in conclusion, I would like to reiterate our shared vision of making Ghana a leader in the global horticultural market. Together, we can achieve this vision. Together, we can create a future where Ghanaian horticultural products are synonymous with quality, sustainability, and excellence. Thank you all for being here today and for your unwavering commitment to the growth of our horticultural sector. Let us make the second edition of the Horticultural Expo a resounding success. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much, CEO and Minister's Rep. Thank you for that. Please, another round of applause for CEO. Now, CEO, it's not that I'm worrying you today, but you know, when you name a child, after you do Insonia and then you have to mention the name of the child. You have named the child and given us the keynote, but you didn't say you have launched the Horti Expo. So please, I want to bring you back to launch it properly. And then we'll take the closing remarks and wrap up. So please, let's welcome the GEPA CEO once again.
At this time, I will invite the president of Fitch to join me here as together we lunch. I'm looking into the crowd to see who else I should invite. The journalists are not inviting you, so don't worry. Yeah, Chamber of Agribusiness. If you are here, GIZ.
Fidelity.
Yeah.
Fidelity is here.
Fidelity, are you still around? 24 hours? Yes. Yes. GIRSAL. GIRSAL.
CEO of Fitch.
The CEO of Fitch. And the Vice President. This is a Fitch event, so in fact, everybody in Fitch should come. Kojo the farmer, please join us. My deputies, yes, they are my backbones. They are my defenders. Please,
Together.
please join us here.
Yeah, yes, right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
We need to move more together. It's okay?
Yes, Coconut Federation.
Coconut Federation is here.
Mhm.
So on behalf of the Ghana Export Promotions Authority, together with the Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters and our collaborators, today, the 15th day of April 2025, I declared the Horti 2025 Expo has launched. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for your support. May that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
So we'll take the closing remarks from the CEO of Fitch, my boss, Mr. Abdul Karim. Closing remarks, sir.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, because of time that I have been given and warned about, I want to stand on existing protocols to welcome all of you to this very important session on behalf of Fish and our partners. In fact, I had only one sentence to come and deliver, but given what I heard from Dr. Dudu, I've forgotten the sentence. And that is because I've just come back from visiting some of my constituents. And the issue they raised, and I came and discussed with my president, I didn't know where to pass and give them answers. But all the answers have been given to me today by Dr. Dudu. Thank you so very much. On that note, directly, I think I now remember my sentence. It is finished. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for coming today. Thank you for being a part of this. Please, let's push the Ghana Horti Expo. Our hashtag is Ghana Horti Expo, Ghana Horti Expo 2025. Hashtag Horti Expo as well. Let's push this. We believe that if we work together, we can create value within the economy, support jobs, eat well, make money, and have a Ghana we want. And it's our collective responsibility to do this. So, and because today is the media launch, our friends from the media, today is yours. Tomorrow, BNFT, we are looking forward to a front page story. Graphic, Ghanaian Times, all the newspapers front page. TV, we are looking forward. It's past 12, so we are not going to get the midday news. But your main evening news, we are looking forward to be there. We are looking forward to be on your breakfast news in the morning as well. Radio, we are looking forward to the same thing. And you're also looking forward to a lot of online stories. Let's push this together. If there is any media house here that also wants to be there at the expo, even to get a stand and also spread your wings and also connect to our members, we are happy to work with you. Even though we have our main media partner, we are happy to work with every institution to put Ghana, to make Ghana better and to finish our poverty and take us into wealth. So thank you all so much for coming. This is where we end today's event.
So that was it. Very insightful, looks very promising. And I'm going to make sure that I host all these dignitaries one after the other on the Ghanaian Farmer TV to explain better how to become a member of their organizations and what are some of the pending benefits you stand to enjoy when you become a member. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe and of course look forward to more events of this nature and of course a lot more interviews from different programs that will be airing on the Ghanaian Farmer TV. Once again, thank you.